Our clothes were soon strewn all across the room, and we surrendered to the tender pull of our Bonda Euro hours, tangled in soft sighs and the warm weight of each other. I found a surge of strength as the mate bond clicked into place after our mating. Sable fully healed after she bonded with Blaze, and he helped her restore her strength. Asher helped me dress up as we perfected the plan once again. I will follow the trackers you people have left according to Ellie's footprints, and I will find the underground hideout and that device which is blocking the mind link. You will proceed with the moonstone to Ruby's given location. The plan was not simple, but we were hopeful it would work. Asher gave me a tender kiss before proceeding to fulfill his part of the plan. I left my office and went over to my room to take a shower and change into tights and a black skin-tight shirt. Once I was ready and rejuvenated, I went downstairs. Hayden was waiting for me with the moonstone and handed it over. "Thank you, Hayden." I thanked him and took out my cell phone to check the location. "Come near the north border. You will find a box under the bench there. Place the moonstone in that box and leave. If you try anything, remember I have your kids." Ruby had left a message for me. "We will see about that, Ruby," I murmured to myself and headed out. Soon I reached the place Ruby had mentioned. Looking under the bench, I found a brown rectangular box. Opening it, I placed the moonstone inside it with a thudding heart. I quietly retreated and waited in the shadows. Soon, Asher's voice came through the mind link. "I have found some hidden cameras and a device. It seems like the same device which Ruby must have been using to disrupt the mind link. I will get the kids soon, Anna. Take care of yourself and stay safe." The happiness I felt deep in my bones at his words was beyond anything I could describe. "I believe in you, Asher. Go get our kids," I answered with determination while keeping my eyes glued on the spot where I had placed the moonstone. A few people passed by, but none of them were Ruby. Then I saw a woman with baggy clothes and black hair suspiciously approach the bench. The hair was falling all around her face, so I couldn't see it. She carefully glanced in all directions before sitting on the bench. Extending her hand, she tried to retrieve the box. Now I understood this was Ruby in disguise. No wonder no one was able to catch her. Plus, she was using scent blocker. I quickly sprung into action and stealthily approached Ruby. Nearing her, I kicked her from behind and sent her sprawling on the ground. Her body jerked and fell forward. The wig fell from her head, revealing her hair, and she turned to sneer at me, her eyes holding contempt. Her face morphs into something grotesque because of the anger and hatred she harbored. "Anna," she hissed, and I kicked her face in full force, throwing open her lip. The blood oozed out as she squealed and scrambled to her feet. "Now, you are going to pay for your crimes, bitch," I retorted, getting ready to kick her to the curb. I cranked my knuckles and moved ahead. "Are you stupid or something, Anna? I will kill Oliver and that Omega girl," she threatened, stumbling away from me. Just then, Asher's voice came through the mind link. "Kids are safe. I was able to mind link Oliver, and he told me the location of an underground bunker. Proceed with your plan." Happiness ran through my whole body like a wave of tiny electrical charges. It charged me up. My kids were safe, and that's all that mattered to me. "I love you, Asher. I knew you would save them. Oh, girl. Get our revenge," Asher answered back in fondness. I closed the mind link and faced a disgruntled Ruby. "You will never hurt my kids again, you devilish woman." I let out an ironic cackle. My eyes blazed with utmost disgust and hatred. Fear crawled on her face, seeing me laugh like a maniac. She understood something was wrong, but I gave her no time to figure it out. Shifting instantly into Sable, I attacked Ruby in full force by jumping towards her. She shrieked as Sable collided with her and sent her stumbling down. Instantly, she turned into her wolf form as well, while Sable dug her fangs deep into her neck. She snarled and pushed us back. But the years of accumulated hate made my wolf only see red. Sable's fangs dug further deep into Ruby's jaw and pulled with all their strength, breaking it. A loud sound was heard as her jaw broke and blood gushed out like a fountain of crimson liquid. Sable didn't stop, though. She clawed at her face and neck, peeling the fur off and leaving deep gashes. Ruby's wolf tried to fight back, but Sable was much stronger and too furious to let her deal any damage. "That's for hurting our pup," Sable snarled in disgust, while Ruby's wolf lay there as she cracked her spine. Crack. Soon, it went motionless. and blood kept oozing out of the deep wounds. Disgust crawled on my whole body seeing her, but I was done. Raising our head, Sable let out a victory howl in the air. Moving away from her, we went to retrieve the moonstone from under the bench, capturing it between our jaws. We sprinted back to our mate and kids. It was the best feeling in the world to head over to my family in victory. Opening the mind link, I informed Asher, "I have defeated Ruby and Moonstone is safe. I am coming towards you and the kids. Can't wait to meet you all." I went to my room first. Shifting into myself, I changed into clothes. My old ones had torn to shreds when I shifted into Sable. I safely placed the moonstone in my jeans pocket. Oliver and Ellie, along with Asher, were waiting for me in the infirmary. Asher had informed me that Ellie had been hurt badly by Ruby's goons, and he had killed the ones he found in the bunker. I couldn't wait to get to my kids and embrace them. I would never let them out of my sight again. With a heavy heart, I entered the room where they were keeping Ellie. Oliver was standing by her side. Seeing me arrive, he rushed to me with tears shimmering in his eyes. "Mom." The innocence on his face and seeing him alive and safe once again made all my worries evaporate like water droplets on a hot day. I gladly spread out my arms to receive him, and he jumped into them, rubbing his face with mine. Frantically kissing him, I inspected his face, arms, and body, ensuring he hadn't been hurt by that evil witch. "He didn't hurt you, right?" I apprehensively asked. "No, Mom, but she hurt Ellie. I tried to stop her but failed," Oliver told me in a crying voice, and I turned my head in Ellie's direction. She was lying in bed, resting peacefully with Asher protectively standing by her side. He was slowly patting her head. "You all right?" Asher asked me through MindLink so as not to freak the kids out in case I was hurt. "I am. That bitch couldn't lay a finger on me," I told Asher and moved closer to Ellie. My heart took a dive seeing her condition. There were bruises on her face, and her hands and arms were covered in bandages, but she was awake. A smile, an apologetic smile spread on her small mouth. "Ellie, how are you, my child?" I quickly approached her with a wounded expression. "I am better. Thank you for rescuing me," she said in a weak, broken voice. I collected her in my arms and placed a kiss on her forehead. "I am sorry, my dear, it took us so long to get to both of you." She clung to me, and I could feel her trembling body. I slowly rubbed her back while Asher lovingly placed his hand on my shoulder, and Oliver hugged me from my back. My heart had never felt as complete as it did in that instant. "I should be the one sorry. I should have waited for you instead of running after Ruby. But I didn't want to lose her," she confided in me. "No, it's not your fault, Ellie. It's my duty to keep you safe, and I failed," I lamented, leaning against Asher's chest while Ellie stayed in my lap. "Your mom is right. We should have protected both of you." Asher lovingly spoke, easing Ellie's fears that it wasn't her fault. Oliver haughtily spoke from my side, keeping his tiny hands on his waist. "Mom, Dad, don't worry. As her brother, I will protect her from now onwards. Otherwise, she will keep making these stupid mistakes." I stole a glance towards Asher, and he was proudly smiling at our son. "I am sure you will, Oliver. I am so very proud of you, and I apologize for earlier. I failed you." I sighed heavily, but he placed his soft hand on my face, and so did Ellie. Both of them held these loving expressions on their faces. I felt extremely blessed in those moments. My family was complete. I had 2 lovely children and a second-chance mate who cared for me. "Why don't we go out tonight? How about that new animated movie? I bet both of you love popcorn," Asher suggested with a wink, and Oliver jumped in excitement while Ellie clapped her hands. "That's a brilliant idea, Dad. Let's do this." Oliver pumped the air, making Ellie and I let out a giggle. At night, 4 of us got ready and went out for the movie. The kids got large buckets of popcorn, and Asher let them have juice today. Soda was a still no. It swelled my heart to see Oliver and Ellie getting along so well. She was quickly healing and seemed genuinely happy. We settled down, and the children were quickly engrossed in the movie. Asher took my hand in his, and I placed my head on his shoulder, basking in his scent and warmth. I didn't watch much of the movie, but I saw my kids happily eat popcorn while they enjoyed the movie, while my mate lovingly kissed my head and squeezed my hand every now and then. After the movie, the kids were pumped. The movie was amazing, Oliver excitedly told us. I had never seen a movie in the cinema before. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, Ellie said shyly as we drove home. I am happy both of you enjoyed it. We will do more movie nights. I ruffled their hair. Reaching back at Asher's house, I made both the kids brush their teeth and then tucked them in bed. Asher had already arranged everything for Ellie through Hayden. After putting them to sleep, I went to see Asher in his study. I had to return the moonstone sitting at his oak desk. His dexterous hands held a pen as he was bent over some paperwork. Approaching his desk, I placed a small kiss on his cheek and then placed the moonstone on his dark brown desk. Here, this belongs to you. I kept it safe. His eyes lifted to find mine and his arms circled my waist, pulling me into his lap. Has anyone ever told you how amazing you are, mate? He slowly murmured, and I smiled. Yes, my mate has, I answered with a wink, and he heartily laughed. Fair enough. So what should be our next plan regarding Moonstone, I asked, and he placed his nose in my hair, inhaling deeply, trying to calm his nerves with my scent. Asher finally spoke, taking a deep breath. I think Shadow Howl Pack will be furious because of that botched attempt by Ruby to steal the Moonstone. I rubbed my cheek against his hard chest, and Sable purred inside me, enjoying the proximity to our mate. The bond held us to each other, pulling us with invisible threads. Asher was right, but what worried me was the fact that his attempt to locate Moonstones had spread across all packs. Foes and friends alike. There could be more people like Ruby who would wish to harm him in order to get to the Moonstones. True, but I think we should be more subtle in our search for the Moonstones. I don't want more enemies coming after you, I requested, tracing my hand against his hard chest. Asher let out a small chuckle, seeing me get all worried for him. His eyes lowered, and a knowing smile spread across his full lips, the ones I wished to take between mine and kiss for an eternity. Hey, I have done that on purpose. It's like luring the mice to the cheese while setting a trap. Everyone with malicious intent regarding Moonstone will come looking for me, instead of me going after the Moonstones and searching for them like a needle in the haystack. I will let the needle come to me. Ah! A light bulb seemed to have been lit on my head, and a smiling Asher reached down and pecked the tip of my nose. Don't worry, Anna. Nothing will happen to you, nor will I let anyone harm you or my kids. He reassured me, and I nodded with ease. Let's head to bed. I wish to eat my mate some more, he announced mischievously, getting up with me safely tucked in his arms. My cheeks scalded and ears turned crimson from the heat. There was nothing more I wanted than to be devoured by this hulking beast. Carrying me to his room, Asher placed me on his bed and swiftly climbed above me, pressing me down with his rugged body. His ravishing lips descended on mine, and I returned his kiss with full zeal, wrapping my legs around him. I let a moan escape only for it to be buried in his mouth. Our clothes were soon strewn all across the room, and we surrendered to the tender pull of our Bonda Euro hours, tangled in soft sighs and the warm weight of each other, until sleep wrapped us up together, my back pressed flat against his chest. The next morning, I woke up early, still tangled in Asher's legs and arms. Turning in his arms, I found he slept like a baby, all peaceful and calm. Pecking his cheek, I untangled myself from his limbs, slowly, so as not to disturb his sleep. Grabbing my silk nightgown, I put it on and moved to the washroom. Taking a shower, I changed into an apple green sheath dress and headed down. Slowly opening the door of the kids' room, I observed they were still sleeping. I closed the door again in satisfaction and let them get a few more hours. I decided to cook breakfast before they would wake up. Entering the kitchen, I decided on scrambled and boiled eggs, ham and freshly baked bread along with some freshly squeezed orange juice. I was serving breakfast when Asher brought along the kids, freshened and dressed up in day clothes. Something smells nice. Asher rubbed his hands together and placed a small kiss on my temple, making me smile. Good morning, right on time. Come, let's grab some breakfast, I greeted the kids. Good morning, Mom. Both of them answered in unison. All of us settled down around the table. Ellie seemed hesitant as she was new to the family, and I sensed her nervousness to serve herself. But she wistfully stared at the ham and scrambled eggs. I reached out and served her, and she beamed at me. Thank you. You are welcome, Ellie. Eat to your fill. I answered her with a soft smile. Oliver immediately pouted at me, holding out his plate. That's favoritism, Mom. I want boiled eggs and ham as well. Of course, Ollie. I served my son with an affectionate smile. He beamed at getting attention. Seeing Oliver, even Asher decided to join him. Holding out his plate with his elbow propped on the table, he winked at me before asking in a childish voice, I would like some hams and eggs as well, my beautiful lady. Oliver cackled at his father's antics and I playfully shoved him away. Serve yourself, you big boy, I teased, making him laugh. Seeing the easy atmosphere, Ellie eased down and a tiny smile made its way on her face. All of us sat down and began to eat. Ellie turned to Oliver and said with care, Try these scrambled eggs. They are my favorite, and Mom has cooked them perfectly. Nah! He waved his hand in his usual Oliver manner and spoke again. You should try a boiled egg. It's more tasty than scrambled. Just add salt and pepper and the taste will double. Picking up a full boiled egg, Oliver placed it in Ellie's plate, acting like a true brother. She thanked him and began to eat. It's good. I can see why you prefer boiled eggs, Ellie answered gleefully. Both of them started to discuss some cartoons. Seeing them happily converse and eat, Asher and I passed an easy glance and busied ourselves in finishing our food. This would be another blissful day.
On the cusp of death, Ruby was rescued at the last moment by Kyle. His giant and powerful wolf took her away before she died.
He had his men keep an eye on Ruby and report to him every step of hers. The moment Anna had caught her, he knew it was game over for Ruby.
Once Anna had left her for dead, Ruby had one last surge of power, the willingness to survive like a low-lifer she was. Kyle arrived and took her straight to the Pax dungeon and locked her up. Anna had bashed her whole face in, her jaw was broken and was bizarrely angled. Her body was battered and her clothes were soaked in blood. She was in a terrible condition.
Kyle threw her on the hard, damp floor of the dungeon. A single bulb dangled from the ceiling whose light reflected on Kyle's menacing figure and cast its dark shadow on a dying Ruby.
There was another presence lurking among the shadows, clinging to the walls of the dungeon like dark cobwebs. It made Ruby's skin crawl. She could feel the heaviness of its existence in her heart.
You failed me, Ruby. How pathetic. Kyle had his hands deep into the pockets of his white slacks. His was dangerously calm and it sent a shiver running along Ruby's broken spine.
Ruby tried to ask for mercy, but her sounds came out like a broken record.
I can't hear you, Ruby. You can't even speak. What good will you be to me now? You have served your purpose. It's time for you to die. Kyle grinned, revealing his pearly whites to her. The grin of a devil, it seemed.
Ruby tried to squirm and lift herself from the floor, but the pain made her scream.
K-Y-L. She stuttered in agony, but Kyle had no mercy in his heart. You had one job, Ruby, to get the moonstone from Asher, and you failed to even retrieve that. He mercilessly kicked her in the stomach. She squeaked and fell on the floor. Pathetic, useless woman. He continued to berate and kick her. Curling up in a fetal position, Ruby breathed her last while being kicked and beaten up by Kyle. Her broken body couldn't take any more torture and she finally succumbed to her injuries. Useless, Kyle breathed out, seeing her body go limp. Lights flickered, and tendrils as black as the bottomless pits of hell where lights had never shone began to crawl on the dungeon walls. They moved swiftly as if possessing a life of their own, slithering and covering more than half of the dungeon. The light seemed to have been sucked out of the room along with any calm that might have existed. Fear would have crawled in the heart of any human present, but there was only Kyle, who was already under the influence of this demon. Black tendrils halted as they neared the body of Ruby, turning into sharp claws with nails as long as a pencil and sharper than a knight's sword. A gauntlet face appeared from the shadows. It had no eyes, and its mouth was large like a suction pump. She is all yours, Kyle triumphantly announced. Demon's mouth enlarged, and its claws dug deep into the soft flesh of Ruby. Liquefying her insides, it began to feed on its flesh and blood, covering her completely, like a wraith. Kyle satisfactorily watched, letting the demon consume Ruby's body until only her clothes and bones were left behind. It screeched like a banshee after greedily devouring her and turned to face Kyle. What about the moonstone? The demon spoke in a screeching voice as if the nails were being scratched on a chalkboard. The black wisps of its existence reached out and rested on both sides of Kyle's temples, making him grin like a maniac. There was only madness in his eyes. Whatever humanity had existed was long gone now. She failed to retrieve it from Asher. But don't worry, I have a plan. What plan? The demon demanded, applying pressure on Kyle's temples, controlling its consciousness. Kyle's eyes inked ebony as wisps crawled all over Kyle's head, feeding off his emotions. We will kidnap Asher using my anonymous control over the Crescent Island and Shadow Organization. No one knows I own the place. Once he is in our control, I will be able to extract information from him regarding the Moonstone, Kyle explained as the demon hovered in the air, almost touching the ceiling. Its mouth took in deep inhales. Ow! I have found that man to be extremely stubborn. Do you think he will hand over that Moonstone just like that? The demon screamed in a muffled tone, as if someone was throttling a screaming man. The voice was so terrifying. It ricocheted off the walls. Bizarrely, Kyle knowingly grinned and revealed. Through Anna, my very loyal subordinate and one of the best assassins the Shadow had produced in recent years, I know how to make Asher bend his morals and hand over the Moonstone. He will willingly reveal all his secrets to us, and soon we will be the ones ruling the world. Kyle's forbidding words echoed in the darkened dungeon. Every corner was covered in the black tar-like tendrils of the demon as he and Kyle laughed like one being instead of two.
I was busy with different tasks of the pack. Training grounds needed repairing, so did the houses for Omegas. They had been living in deteriorated conditions. My phone rang, and picking it up, I was surprised to see Claude calling me. I wondered what he wanted after such a long time. "Hello," I said after receiving the call. "Hi, Anna. We need you to return to Crescent Island. All assassins have been called back. Master needs all of you here for a very important task," he told me in a cold voice. That usual chirpiness and warmth were missing from his tone. "I will be there by tonight," I informed him and ended the call. His call made me wonder what the Master wanted from us all. I hadn't interacted with the Master much, only a few times when I had joined the Shadow Organization. He always kept his face hidden so no one knew what he looked like. I had to inform Asher and leave early. Kids were at school, so it was difficult to meet them. So I called Asher, and he picked up on the first bell. "Hey, how are you?" "Great, what's up, my sunshine?" he seductively asked, making me chuckle. I informed him of what Claude had said and asked him to keep the kids safe. "I will. Take care of yourself, Anna, and keep that pendant around your neck and your cell phone with you at all times. Anything happens, just call me." The playfulness disappeared from his voice as he gave serious instructions. "Don't worry, I will be back before you know it." Ending the call, I called Edward and handed over all the tasks to him with instructions. He wished me luck, and I caught the first flight to Crescent Island. Arriving at the secret base, I was escorted inside by the two guards. Claude made his way towards me as soon as I entered the place. "Hi," I formally greeted me and curtly nodded. His lips remained thinned out. That usual joy which danced in his eyes seeing me was missing. "Hi, come, Master is expecting us in his office." He gestured for me to follow him. I did. A few steps in, I saw a familiar face and was surprised to see it was Ella, trotting her way towards me while flicking her ponytail and chewing gum. A mocking smirk appeared on her face. Her eyes scanned me like a laser. "If it isn't the famous Anne, what a surprise." She spoke in her neighborly voice, which everyone found cute. "Consider me appalled, Ella. If it isn't the comrade killer being welcomed back into the ranks." I also threw a jibe at both Ella and Claude. He remained silent as if he hadn't even heard what I had said. "Seems like you hooked a big fish, Anna. How many times did you have to sleep with the Alpha King to rise so high in such a short time?" she asked with a giggle, throwing a low blow. Claude made no effort to put Ella in her place. They had welcomed her back, knowing she tried to kill me, so I didn't expect much from him. Besides, he was still salty because of my rejection. But I had found my mate now and couldn't let Claude remain infatuated with me. I needed to keep him at arm's length. "Not everything can be acquired by seduction, not that you can know any better, Ella," I mocked with a smile and her face reddened. "Here," Claude offered, pointing to the silver-shaded door of the Master's office. Throwing one last derisive look at Ella, I knocked and entered the office. The office had low lights and a grim atmosphere. I don't like this, Anna. There is something not right about this place, Sable murmured in my head. The expensive mahogany desk had an executive chair on which the Master K sat snugly. His face was covered with a big black hood. "Welcome, Anna. I have been expecting you." He spoke in such deep and heavy notes. The voice seemed to have been altered using some kind of voice-changing device. "Take a seat." He pointed to the chair in front of his desk. I bristled at the heaviness of his voice, which seemed to weigh on me, but settled down, remaining sharp. I asked, "You called for me?" "Yes. I have a very important task for you. I need you to find all the moonstones that the various packs possess. Every assassin has been tasked to do that. It is of utmost importance that we do, or a lot of lives will be lost." The master revealed the important mission, and I was left surprised. He had leaned back into the chair, and although I couldn't see his face or eyes, I could sense them on me. Who would want the moonstones? Could it be some important client who knew about their existence and their link to the demon? Could it be Asher's enemy? I was still contemplating these thoughts when the master left his seat, moved in my direction, and asked, "Will you do it, Anna?" His voice sent shivers skating down my spine, and beads of perspiration broke out on my forehead. I nodded my head and got up. Something was not right, and I wanted to leave this place as quickly as possible. The danger alarms were blaring in my head. Before I could move towards the door, the master's rough voice came through again. "Wait." I turned to face him, and to my utter surprise saw that the hood had fallen, revealing the master's face. It was Kyle, except he appeared different. His eyes had no light or signs of any life. They appeared dead and pitch black. My heart shivered seeing his dark eyes as if he was possessed by a demon. "You!" I spoke in annoyance, my brows scrunched up. Every instinct in my body screamed to run away. Before I could leave, he moved at lightning pace and injected something into my neck, holding me in his arms from the back. I elbowed him into his stomach, but it was of no use. The drug instantly took effect, and I went limp into his arms. "Sleep, my dear Anna. We will meet again," he murmured against my skin, making it crawl. But that was the last thing I heard before I fell into unconsciousness, and everything darkened around me. Before I fell into unconsciousness, and everything darkened around me. My eyes slowly opened. My eyelids felt so heavy as if weight had been placed on them. An obnoxious scent and existence I felt near me, and my head slowly turned to find Kyle sitting beside me. His hand was in my hair as he playfully wrapped my locks on his index finger. A bone-chilling smile he wore, the one which didn't reach his eyes for they had blackened. I tried to move, but strong silver chains held me to the bed. They rattled against the bed frame and legs. I had been eagle-sprawled with them. Fear gripped my very limbs as I frantically swerved my head and took in my surroundings. It seemed like some kind of crazy laboratory. Everything was pristine, white, and reeked of chemicals and phenyl. The walls were lined with glass bottles and vials with different kinds of liquids. I stared down at my body and observed the necklace Oliver had given me was gone. "What do you want?" I shouted at Kyle and tried to yank my arm free, but it was futile. "Oh, Anna, always so impatient. Relax, I will tell you everything," he casually answered, coldly smiling at me and my struggling figure. "You sick bastard, let me go," I screamed out. My heart was agitated. "Let you go? But how will we have fun if I do that? I know you are dying to be with Asher. See how generous I am. I always let you interact with him and gave you free reins, so you get closer, until the right time, when I will be using you for the very reason I had you trained. Be a good girl now and lay still." He softly patted my head, making me wish to puke. "Use me for what?" I demanded, glaring at him. "Of course, to allure Asher here and get hold of his moonstone. He will bring it along. The man is obsessed with you. It's a perfect plan, as I observed, Ruby almost succeeding with a similar one. He will come for you, Anna." Kyle threw his head back and laughed maddeningly. He continued to unearth his plans like a man possessed. He was talking to me, and yet it seemed like his mind was somewhere else. "You are delusional, Kyle. Asher is going to kill you," I answered without reluctance. Kyle guffawed at my words. Throwing his head back, he laughed like a lunatic, his voice echoing in the laboratory. Kill me? Oh, naive Anna. You don't have any clue what's really going on here. No one can kill me. The one who is going to die is you and Asher after serving your purpose. What are you talking about? I asked. He wasn't making much sense. Let me explain, my little Anna. After I collect all the moonstones, I am going to use them to unleash the demon. Both of you will be the final sacrifice before the demon surfaces. You are going to be fed to him. He hungers for your flesh. Kyle's fingers brushed against the skin of my arm, making bile rise in my chest. You will never be able to collect all the moonstones and break the seal. Keep dreaming, Kyle. And if you think you can break me with your little speech, then you don't know me at all. I seethed out. The very muscles in my neck went taut. My precious little Anna, always hot-headed. No one can interfere with my plans. It has already been set into motion. There is nothing any of you can do about that. He continued with his monologue. Once the demon's powers are unleashed, I will rise to power with his help. Every other alpha will cease to exist. There will only be one alpha to rule the whole wolf kind, and that would be me. I will be the Lord Savior for all the supernatural. They will all rejoice under my leadership, and with the demon by my side, I will become indestructible. He and I will rewrite the rules of this world. As being the most supreme creatures, no one will stand in our way. The ultimate power is going to be mine. He raised his hand and slowly fisted it, bringing it down as if capturing that non-existent power. The man had gone completely off his rockers, and I had to find a way to get out of this, or it could turn disastrous, not only for us but for the whole world. That demon should never be unsealed.